Welcome back to Crawford-Clark Close-Up. Before we hit the Daniel Craig movies in our James Bond reviews, we're stopping to rank all the Bond title designs to date. Maurice Binder started the tradition off with the very first, Dr. No, back in 1962, and since then Robert Brownjohn, design company MK12, and most recently Daniel Kleinman have all brought their own unique interpretations to the glossy, evocative designs over the near 60 years of Bond movies. No other series in the history of film has created such a legacy in designs for the main title sequences of each film, each one telling its own mini-story and getting fans pumped for the main body of each respective movie after the pre-titles tease. For this video, in preparation for the much-anticipated No Time to Die, we're ranking all 24 title designs for the series so far. We're not including the 1967 Casino Royale in this, nor Never Say Never Again, just the official Eon movies. Before we get started, the housekeeping. Come and find Crawford-Clark Close-Up on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can also drop us an email with suggestions for things that we can review in the future on this channel to crawfordclarkcloseup@gmail.com. Most importantly, if you enjoy this video and want to know as soon as we upload new content, just click subscribe at the top of the page. With all that said, let's get started. And coming at the bottom of the pile at number 24, we have Diamonds Are Forever. There's plenty of focus on Blofeld's White Cat and Diamonds, naturally, in the weakest title sequence effort from designer Maurice Binder up to this point, though Shirley Bassey undeniably smashes it with the vocals on the title track. In 23rd spot is Octopussy, another of Binder's weakest contributions. The design for Octopussy looks a little lazy and uninspired. Perhaps Rita Coolidge's ballady All-Time High isn't helping his creative juices this time around either. At 22 we have License to Kill. At least we get a brief glimpse of Dalton's Bond in action at the open of Binder's last contribution to the series, yet that and Gladys Knight's superb theme song are about the only saving graces for this sequence. A much needed reboot in title design was required and was thankfully just around the corner as we said goodbye to the 1980s and the end of an era. The Man with the Golden Gun is our number 21. There are some sparkling moments in this sequence, but it's generally a step down in quality for Maurice Binder, the first example of the designer running out of ideas for said sequences. Lulu's disappointing theme tune probably didn't give a lot of inspiration, to be fair. Number 20 is Moonraker. Bassey lends her vocals for the final time, and Binder's design is once again a step down in quality. The designer tends to be hit and miss throughout the 1970s with his contributions to the series. Little in the way of images that reflect the narrative itself, aside from shots of the moon, this is a fairly bland entry in the series. For number 19, we go back to the very beginning with Dr. No. The most primitive, as it's the very first, with the psychedelic use of multicoloured circles and squares coming straight off the first gun barrel sequence. The orchestration of the legendary Bond theme sets the mood perfectly for the film, though the segues into calypso music and Three Blind Mice must have seemed jarring even to audiences way back in 1962. At 18, it's The Living Daylights. The red-gloved hand and extreme close-up of a woman's eyes set the more serious tone nicely for the first of Binder's titles for the Dalton movies. Aha's title track is one of the best since Nobody Does It Better, but it's a shame that after years of Roger Moore's image in the titles for his films, that Binder couldn't have been more creative by using Dalton in his debut. The designer is definitely running out of ideas at this time. Quantum of Solace is at number 17, the only sequence since GoldenEye that Daniel Kleinman was absent for. This is design company MK12's only contribution to the Bond titles so far, and it's a little jarring, not just due to Alicia Keys and Jack White's noise of a theme song. The weakest effort in the titles department since License to Kill. Number 16 is For Your Eyes Only, the most music video influenced of the title designs up to this point in the series, as Bond enters the 1980s. Until Billie Eilish, Sheena Easton was the youngest Bond theme song performer, and she so impressed Maurice Binder that he used her for the title design itself. It's an engaging sequence, and the song is underrated in the Bond canon. At number 15, A View to a Kill, the most product of the 80s titles Binder gave us in his third and final decade on Bond. Lots of neon and silhouette, accompanied by one of the better Bond songs from Duran Duran after many years of slower Bond ballads. This is Binder back with a bit more vigour. Kleinman's most recent effort for the series, Spectre, is at 14. This sees a topless Daniel Craig, an octopus, and nods back to the past Craig movies with Bond and Severine in the shower, Bond and Camille free-falling, as well as narrative points for the film itself. A million shards of glass that haunt me from my past, with the shots of characters from the previous 3 Craig films, works particularly well, and the song performed by Sam Smith, whilst different, is underrated. It's not Kleinman's best contribution to the series, but it's certainly an intriguing design that complements the film well. At number 13 we have Tomorrow Never Dies. For Kleinman's follow-up to the hard-to-beat design for GoldenEye, the theme of looking beyond the surface to see that not all is what it seems, and the focus on technology works very well. It's another creative sequence, but would have worked even better with K.D. Lang's superior Surrender as the accompanying title track. The diamonds around the girl's neck is a beautiful image. Thunderball takes the number 12 spot in our ranking. The title design this time is suitably aquatic, accompanied by the first male vocals on the theme song in the series. It's a vibrant sequence with silhouetted swimming girls and great use of primary colours red and blue. A great return to the series for designer Maurice Binder, who will go from here until 1989 working on these sequences. Just sitting outside of the top 10 we have The World Is Not Enough. For Kleinman's third effort, this is a slight return to form with very abstract ideas, and the oil and fire motifs are striking. Each of Kleinman's designs uses the narrative of their respective films very well. Garbage's theme song is also an improvement on the previous film. We start the top 10 with Die Another Day. Perhaps the hardest design to rank is for Brosnan's last Bond movie. Kleinman's work is impressive, incorporating Brosnan's Bond for the first time, and footage of his torture and endurance throughout the sequence. It's just Madonna's theme song, which is torture all its own, that drags this down. Otherwise, this is one of Kleinman's most creative contributions to the series thus far. At number 9, On Her Majesty's Secret Service. An inspired design to introduce the new 007, yet the same character with an hourglass and rewinding time to show glimpses of the previous Connery Bond outings. Barry's Majesty's Instrumental is one of the best musical numbers in the series. The last entirely instrumental theme used for the title sequence in the series to this date. Skyfall is number 8 in our ranking. Daniel Kleinman's keen eye returns to the Bond titles for the 50th anniversary outing, complete with haunting theme song from Adele. The sequence plays on the Death of 007 motif, with Daniel Craig once again making an appearance in the titles for the third time. There are a number of references to the film's narrative. We get a shot of Bardem's villain Silva, the first time we've seen the film's villain in the title design since Goldfinger, and we get lots of use of colour with the dragons, as well as Rorschach testing, utilising vivid images. Third place for Kleinman's efforts after GoldenEye and Casino Royale, but it's another classic sequence. In 7th spot is You Only Live Twice, one of the most evocative of Binder's early designs for the series, with everything down to the font of the credits themselves looking oriental. The fans, silhouettes and stock footage of volcanoes coupled with Nancy Sinatra's sumptuous vocals make this a winning sequence. From Russia with Love sits just outside the top 5 at number 6. The first completely instrumental theme for the title credits in the series, with the credits ingeniously and seductively projected onto belly dancers. It's evocative, and the instrumental of Matt Monro's theme is sublime. The first of 2 Robert Brown-John title designs, as series regular Maurice Binder was unavailable for this and Goldfinger. And talking of that film, starting the top 5, we have Goldfinger. Straight white text on a black background with images from the film itself projected onto a girl. It's a simple yet effective design, and Shirley Bassey's powerhouse vocals on the theme song are the icing on an already delicious cake. At number 4, we have Live and Let Die. Spooky and eye-catching, like the film itself, this is one of Binder's greatest efforts in design on the series, and it features the first of a short-lived tradition of wavy credits on the screen that would carry into Man with a Golden Gun. This is a real anomaly of a sequence in the Bond canon in all the right ways, and it's topped off by the brilliant theme song from Paul McCartney and Wings. In third place, it's The Spy Who Loved Me. Perhaps the perfect marriage of image and song, Binder's work on Spy is his greatest contribution to the series. The images are evocative of the narrative, Carly Simon's song is first-rate, and the titles look crisp. The way Nobody Does It Better ends the sequence with the dissolve into Gogol's office set spotlights is fantastic. In second place, we have Casino Royale. Kleiman's best work in the titles department, literally neck and neck with our number 1, as one of the most uniquely designed titles in the Bond canon. Chris Cornell's storming You Know My Name is the rockiest Bond theme since Duran Duran's effort some 20 years earlier. The sequence incorporates Daniel Craig's new 007, Ava Green's Vesper, the cards and roulette tables as weapons and targets. All in all, the sequence is a piece of art. So our number 1 goes to GoldenEye, the first of Daniel Kleiman's title designs for the series and a vibrant refresh for the 90s Bond. The colours pop from the screen and the titles seem to tell a story all their own in the best design since The Spy Who Loved Me, and the series' best to date. Tina Turner's song also complements the sequence brilliantly. Stylish and oozing Bond, here's a brilliant first effort from our current title designer on the series. Those are our 2 cents on the James Bond title sequences. Let us know your thoughts on our ranking and your own preferences in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, please click subscribe at the top of the page. Coming up, we're moving into the final stage of our James Bond movie reviews as we welcome in the Daniel Craig era. Thanks for watching, and until next time, that's a wrap.